Whew, you folks. Okay, so the other day, maybe last week sometime, I was talking about Saturn and how Saturn is the planet of karma. And if you go study Saturn and you go study Saturn in the signs and houses, and then you go look at your own life, you're going to find out exactly where Saturn wants you to be a little more, streamlined, for lack of a better word. And the other side of that, because, right now, I think, myself, I feel like all of us needs a little bit more good news. All of us needs to have some kind of hope to look forward to. So, Jupiter. I made a video a couple weeks ago about Jupiter going into Taurus and what all of that meant. But I waited until now to actually explain Jupiter, the planet itself. Okay, we know it's the gas giant. We know by reading memes and going online and reading these very short articles with the word benefic, the blessing planet, the guy who gives out presents, the Santa Claus planet, which is only partially right. Okay. Not too many people who do astrology, who read astrology, who study, research it, whatever each of our niche is. There are plenty of us who know what Jupiter is about, but there's not a whole lot of us who can explain it in the sense that people actually understand and can grasp it. And the only reason I'm saying that is because as much as I read and study and research, I should be able to understand what a lot of these people are saying. And even with a dictionary, all kind dictionary, encyclopedia, all these things, even with the web, it comes across a lot of these things as confusing. So I'm hoping that I will be able to clear up some of this confusion regarding, I guess, not the pattern, but the cycle of karma, the Saturn, Jupiter thing. Okay, because you need both of those in order to know what you need to be disciplined about and learn and be masterful from learning, which is Saturn, as well as where it is your rewards, the blessings, what area of life and how they're going to come about, right? Because Jupiter wants to reward everybody. Saturn actually doesn't want to kick your ass. Saturn wants you to learn. Okay. Saturn wants you to get it and not be perfect at it, but understand it so you don't go back and make all these same mistakes again and again and again that maybe you've been making a long time. I gotta turn off this light because it's getting hot inside here. Anyhow. So when we're talking about Jupiter, Jupiter is the planet of reward. Jupiter is the planet of blessings, and people are convinced that if you do, remember if you do what you are supposed to do according to Saturn and whatever your chart says, you're going to get rewarded now. No, you're not. The planets have not a damn thing to do with instant gratification. Okay, and not too many of us explains that part. Well, I'm going to explain it. Saturn wants you to work and wants you to be disciplined, masterful, with boundaries, all these kind of things in certain areas of your life where you might not even realize that you are not so much blind. And I'm going to be real careful using this word ignorant, meaning you don't know. Okay, so how can you keep getting lickings in life for your ignorance? Is because you have to learn your lessons. You have to learn what you need to do and what you don't need to do. or you have to do and what you can no longer do. Because in continuing doing that, not only might you be making yourself physically ill from all the stress going on, from you asking, how come, why God, how come this is still going? Because you never learn. Just because you do something doesn't mean you are fully applying that to where it becomes habit, becomes something that you just do all the time. And once you are no longer doing all this stupid shit, yeah, I said it, deal with it. The reward in that moment is that you no longer have to deal with that pressure internally. Okay, that whole trigger. You don't have to deal with that. But then, a lot of us, if not all of us, go, yeah, but what? I will learn that, now nothing. No, that's not true. That means you've grown, okay? And I crack up every time I see all these websites and all these, wellness guru people. I'm not a guru at all. I'm a teacher. It's different. I see all these guru people just putting out this recipe for healing, but they don't even understand what the mechanism is there, but they want to promote astrology as part of it and go pull them apart. And then what you have is still people with their heads up their ocoles, and they still, now they have all this new vocabulary. Now they have all this catchphrase. They're going out into the world. My favorite one, quote unquote, my favorite one to dislike: think positive. Don't address the negative. It will just, no, it's not going to just go away. Okay, Saturn does not play that way. Saturn wants you for real, and you should want to be for real. Because in order to get the blessings of Jupiter, you have to really do the work in Saturn. Okay, so if you want to know where luck comes from, it is from the opposing energies, the opposing forces of those two planets, regardless of sign, regardless of house, because we all get them in a different sign, in a different house. Okay, but those two factors, those two energies, Saturn and Jupiter, discipline and reward, not bad and good. That is that's punitive. You can't do that. But discipline and learning and reward. It's like you go high school, you do all your studies, no matter how long it takes. Your reward is what? High school diploma, which, plenty of, it's so stupid, you don't need it. Yes, you do. You do. At a bare minimum, you need a high school diploma. Pow, right? Yes. But people still get around them. And there are lots of ways to get around. Sometimes you got to do it different. And that's why I get GED, homeschooling, private school, all this kind of stuff. No matter what you do to work, Saturn, you're going to get the reward. Jupiter. Now, the work can be, you a shithead. So the work there is, you go on about your narcissistic self, and the reward is what? The outcome, which is what? People pissed off at you. No like you. But you don't care because you're a narcissist. So you're going to do that whole, chain of events again. Because to you, that is the work that you need to get to the reward. So when we're talking about the rewards from all of our work, we are talking about the blessings of Jupiter. And the way you go about finding those blessings in your own chart is not via just the house or a sign, but the degrees of that planet. Okay, if you go look at the astrology chart, any kind of astrology chart, right? You see the degree markers. If you look around that chart and you see other things with that same degrees or within 3 degrees behind or in front, it's going to be in that area of life, and it's going to have the quality, the attitude, the color of, the flavor of the sign. Okay, so whatever house your Jupiter sign is in, and the degrees matter, is the color, flavor, whatever of your reward from Saturn's disciplining you. I know, nobody hear it that way, but that is the truth. You cannot get stuff for free. You cannot get the true rewards unless you do the work. It's like, I watch all these guys online, and I understand, yeah, babies. Nobody wants to work for a shitty boss. But if you go look in your chart at your Saturn, you're going to find out that your shitty boss might have everything to do with the lesson you're trying to learn. Not just so you can go get more money for the job that you're doing, but that since that boss taught you what you don't like, you got to create what it is you do like for however long you got to be there and learn that lesson. It could be you need to stand up to this person. You know, get plenty of guys on this planet who feel like if they're just kind to people. No, because that could be a negative thing for you. It could mean that you've grown up to be a people pleaser. And so your reward is going to be what, you know, whatever it is, if that's the kind of person you are, where you know, it's okay, I got the money for it. That's all you want. So you don't want to grow past that. Okay, maybe that's your, you know, your ball of wax, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is what work you do on yourself in this world, your work in the world, all that kind of stuff in Saturn, okay, 6th house and 10th house. 6th house is your everyday stuff, your everyday, you know, work and stuff. And the 10th house is your work in the world brought on by what you learned every day of your life, 6, 7, 8, and 9 house, rising up to the top of the chart, which is the 10th house. Okay, not everybody's 10th house going to have Saturn. Not everybody's, you know, people's house is going to be the same, but they're different. So whatever this guy over here, say your friend, your brother, your mom, your dad, whatever, they did this kind of work and they got this reward over here in this area of life. That is the Saturn, Jupiter, work, reward, connection. Nothing in this life, even when you get good lickings, is ever done without doing the work. Okay? I'm reminded of these people who are quote unquote selfless. And some people are actually like that, but not all of us are like that. Okay? And if you try go make that, you know, that game face, and it's not what your core self, your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, if it's not cohesive with those things, your Saturn is going to let you know, and you're going to keep going through this karmic circle of trying too hard, being dissatisfied, and get, you know, settling whatever it is Jupiter's rewards give you. I know that one very well. So when I stopped settling, I started getting the true rewards. Even though I don't have a lot of money, even though, you know, I'm kind of in limbo right now. Being in limbo for me and doing the work that I do right here, doing the work that I do in, you know, trauma coaching, doing the work that I do in helping my friend get along in her life because, you know, she's disabled. Those are all Saturn. And the more true that I am to those lessons and my learning and my growing there in Saturn, the more Jupiter, you know, not today, the more Jupiter is going to create blessings in my life, okay? And this goes with every part of, you know, your chart, your life, who you are, whatever, okay? Such as, you know, those who are abused. I'm one of those who was. Until I learned to stop settling, I was not rewarded with the best guy on the planet for me. And he knows it. And I know it. So he is indicative of my Jupiter reward. And I like believing that it is very much vice versa. Okay? So that's one area of my life. The other one is education. Why in the hell would I continue to go to college to get a degree in whatever when I already have the knowledge of what I need to say to anybody else trying to survive the traumas they don't talk about, or maybe they cannot put into words? Well, for them, Saturn is prompting them to make a choice and to face some truths, not just about what they've been through, but who they were within that energy. So that once they learned from all of those things that happened to them and apply it to their life, the learning of no longer being that false part of themselves that is protecting through, people pleasing, maybe, choosing violence, because I'm not going to lie, I did that for a long time too. And choosing violence could be screaming your head off to get your way, or throwing a fit to get your way. Well, what did that net me? Nothing. Nothing that was good, I could count on, could believe in, or anything that would be worth my while. And when I stopped doing things that way, the quality of my life certainly did take on the energy of Jupiter in my chart. So if you want to know where your rewards from doing the work in Saturn are, look to your Jupiter. Look at your Jupiter. Figure out, what the meaning of the house that it sits in means to you as opposed to your Saturn house, and what the signs in each of those two houses have been teaching you. And then go blend those two houses, all right? Because, wherever you're trying to go and learn from that chart, whatever house you're looking at for that purpose in that one moment, for, whatever question you get, going to be in the chart. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're confused, watch this video again. And if you still don't get it, you can reach out. I will explain it to you. So, mahalo for watching this. I know it's kind of long. That's all right. When is it not? Like and share this. Subscribe to this channel. And yeah, go tell your friends. Go tell your friends. And until next time, aloha. Mahalo for being here.